our staffing costs us 125, but we're on a current pace for 236. If they offer us 130, we're gonna go, well, hey, that sounds great, but we're gonna be paying more for that coverage.
Well, I think that comes when you write the contract. It simply says that if costs turn to be more than what, you know, we're estimated at that point in time, we're gonna make a supplemental billing to you. You know, this is a contract service. I mean, if all of a sudden, you know, you require more services than what we originally contracted for, we're contracting for this at $126,000, you go over that, you pay.
I personally agree with Peter that we should have them show up at the June meeting and do their presentation. Because their drop dead date, I think, with the Village of Palmyra was December 31st of this year, right?
I believe so.
So,
And again,
that's a 6-month window to try and put it together.
I have no idea what their offer was gonna be,
Well, I know,
you know, and so,
but it would be worth contacting them and,
I guess I, like you had said in the beginning, I congratulate them because they're actually doing what we asked, and that was to try to get back with the village for a short time, you know, or a long time, whatever that is. So they're doing what we asked them to do. It took a while to get that meeting together, and great, now they're doing that, and maybe they can work something out with the village. And I'm hoping they can for, you know, for a period of time. But if they can't, then
I'd be concerned, we try to get this done by the end of the year, we get it done wrong. If they can come to terms with the Village of Palmyra, me personally, I think that's in everyone's best interest to try to make sure there's good coverage.
as we talked about at the last meeting,
Correct.
I agree that, you know, in the long term, maybe this can all happen together. In the short term, it would be in the best interest of us, but we still have to say we'd be willing to help you if you don't have coverage. For them to present, I don't know, that's up to you, and that's.
Well,
I guess in regards to the request to present or them to come to us, it was, the actual motion was made April 28th, that they come to our next board meeting, meaning this evening, and provide the information that they had available to them. They're not here, they're not providing anything. If they can't even meet with their own village until June 6th, they aren't gonna get back to us for another 45 to 60 days per email. That's putting us into August before anything is even gonna get to us. So at this point, I think we're already beyond the amount of time that we have provided to them. We told them initially that this was just an informational gathering. I think at this point, to focus our resources on our district, which we need to do to get everything put into place and to actually come out successful for the balance of this year, and all the changes and transitions and trainings and everything that need to occur for us as a district, I think we need to cut ties at this point and just say, hey, look, you need to figure this out on your own. If we're gonna be here for mutual aid, that's one thing, you know, because obviously that we're available to that for any area.
For anybody, correct.
So, you know, I think at this point, we gave them a deadline April 28th. It's now May 25th, 6th? And we have nothing from them, except a request for an extension. In my eyes, I don't think that that's sufficient. I would make a motion to indicate that the deadline has passed for the current request for discussion action regarding the town of Palmyra and contracting with our district for the balance of the year.
I think one of the reasons why they wanted the table is I think they were more concerned about what we went through with the fire, and I'm sure Scott, there's a huge investigation process that's going on.
With a fire that substantial, there is a lot of aftermath that is continuing as they speak.
I think that's what partly it was, but
But that was a week ago. I mean, that's still, you know.
and it's going on. Those investigations are gonna take a while.
Right.
I don't have a problem in saying, listen, you know, we got bottled up, it looks like you had some breakthroughs that obviously weren't anticipated when we got to 45 days, but we definitely have to have, we're not gonna wait 45 days, we definitely have to have an update in the June meeting, at which time, you know, you've gotta make your presentation to us, so we have time to review it and look at it. if we get it in June, I think, although it's gonna be a rush, and it's always a rush, I think we have the opportunity to look at it, but
Well, there is a motion on the floor, April made a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by April, seconded by Ed. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Aye.
Motion fails 3-3. I'll call it the nays of Don, Peter, and Gary. Any other motions, any other discussion?
Motion, Peter?
yeah, I'll make a motion that we, notify the town of Palmyra that they have to come and present a package to us at our June meeting, with the understanding that if they don't, we're done.
I'll second that.
Motion by Peter, seconded by Gary. Any further discussion?
Now, that date will be after their meeting with their village,
Sure,
Right.
so
because
that,
we're the fourth week and they're
that
the
might,
sixth.
Yep.
that might be enlightening by itself, so.
I still have a hard time with them coming and saying, here's what we want you to do. I think we're doing this backwards. I think we should say, you're asking us to contract for a station for coverage, here's what the cost is.
Well, I don't have a problem in as part of that, directing the fire chief to come up with what he feels is, are costs that are involved with this, or any variables that have to be there, for example, equipment. What are you gonna demand for, minimum equipment? So that we do have that, we can discuss that.
You gotta have the building.
Yeah, they need to come here and they need to tell us, this is exactly what we want. If they want it, if they want 2 engines, if they want 2 squads, if they want a tender, what are they gonna do for a building? We need to have that complete package come in, at that time, and at least some ballpark costs with this. And as part of that, are they gonna fund this? Or are they asking us to fund it? If they're gonna fund the whole thing, that changes the whole picture pretty significantly. If all of a sudden they're saying, listen, we want you to fund part of this, rather than basically just administer the funds and the program for Palmyra, then that's a different issue. But they've got to a point, come to us and say, this is what we're looking for. Because otherwise, just throwing out numbers is kind of ridiculous at this point in time,
So 3-4 months ago, when we asked if this was feasible, you would think we would have been told this is what we're looking for at that point.
Well, but look how long it took to combine the department here, so.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Did you vote against it? Motion fails 3-3.